Okay, so I believe in the study of science of physics through logos. So logic allows you to take apart science and then rebuild it in your own mind and make it apply itself, because science itself is more than just a numerics. It's about where we start. So where we start by what we think about is where the future will go with what we are. So I've given this a lot of thought about the fourth law of propensity and why we would draw ourselves to ourselves and why there's a second part of us on the other side of us. And it's a reflection. It's a reflective service. Right? So think of this, right? Imagine that within the earth, right? The reason why it's so important for us to be close to the sun is because God gave us the power of the sun, and every time we're hit in the earth and they try to kill the earth, the sun is always giving us extra energy. But the closer you get to the inside of the earth, the less the spin is. And the less the spin is, the less the ability is for you to age. And the aging process slows down. So if you were to say live to be 100 years old or whatnot, you could just go down deep into the earth, right? Theoretically, based on the fourth law, if what's outside draws what's outside in because of the wavelength of how it works, and then time grapples itself, you're saying that you think the bubble is only going away. The problem is the bubble from the earth, right? The sun hits us, boom, it goes through the outside, it is absorbed through everything as it comes down. That's blue. Okay, so the blue color of the earth, the water, everything like that, that's blue, not gray, not whatnot, not smoky, allows for it to get into the earth naturally. Okay, naturally. It activates the hydrogen molecules, makes things happy, makes things settle down, sink into the earth, right? That lands on the grass, all the stuff in the air from the volcanoes goes on the grass. That's why the creatures with the hooves eat the grass. And then you're not supposed to eat those creatures because they're poison. That's why you sacrifice those creatures to make other things with them. That's why they're so valuable. We don't want to destroy all those. Anyways, we gotten to the point that we can recreate everything we destroyed, which is really nice. So, and I never thought we'd ever get here. So, hey, now here's the problem with it though. You think of the problem of the earth being a circle here, right? You follow me? Is anybody following me with science here? The earth is a circle, it's an orb, and it's spinning. And the more it spins, the more it pulls into itself. The more it pulls into itself with the radiation coming outside of it, the more the gravity waves inside of it change, right? The looping through it right here loops back through it, and then it loops over it, and it loops in it, and it loops around it. And so what it is it's four parts on the top like a cross, okay, on the North Pole, and then four parts like a cross on the South Pole, and the center line divides it. And the closer to the center line you get while being in the four parts underground, the less you age. And that is how you can live to be 50 million years old. Right? So if you were somebody that was really old and you never wanted to die because you got to a point where God could have come here and you said, we're afraid of God because we don't have God in our hearts, we will destroy all of you, and you forced the rest of everyone to run away by attacking the spirit and the body, right? Because the earth is, right? The simplest form of all religion is a plus sign, a plus, right? A plus. We had to rewrite it into history to make it look like it was this, because it wouldn't have explained this if he was just like this. Right, that's why they hung him upside down, to bleed him out. Right, but you can't kill Jesus, right? You can't kill God, right? How could you kill God? Only in the hearts of man. So the deeper they are in the earth, the less the ability is, and their biggest fear is water. And we've got too much water. So all we got to do is use a proton beam that is on the X-ray spectrum, send it down to the residual layer that has the best magnetic reflexivity from space, and when it comes back up, we'll catch that signal up here. And that signal up here that we catch will have a second signal going down to measure heat exchange, because frequency is based on sound. Sound is made through the movement of iron at the infinite particulate matter level. And when you excite it with the X-rays, the hydrogen molecules will jump, because even though you don't know this, they still need air. They still need to breathe every once in a while. they'll be big. They'll be giant. They'll be so upset to come out, too. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Gosh darn it, if there's nothing living in the middle of the planet that's been hiding there for a while, why are we so afraid of God? Who's telling all these people you can live forever? People that are living forever. Yeah. Look, you have these people in prison and they talk freely. They talk about their whole structure, their socialization. Do you want to join us when you get out? Blah, blah, blah. You be the perfect person for it. If we're not afraid of something, what are we afraid of? Back to Einstein's theory. We pull from ourselves without ourselves. All right? And he states that on waveform, the approximate distance from something, when the waveform crosses over, it has an attraction to itself, and it can cause time to slow down. Also time-space. So if they're sitting on time-space in the middle and they can't move and they can't get away until we're dead, because they can only live in this time and space when the eye of God is not on us, but they don't want us here at all, because they know with our weaponry we'll most certainly destroy them, and they're afraid to come out. If we do find them, and there is such a thing in the earth as an old people, or anything like that, or anything on any basis of reality, of big caves down there of peoples, we must make sure that they are brought out to the light of day immediately. If they cannot be seen in the light of day, they are non-existent. Sunlight is the light of day. They cannot be taken away by other people for experiments. They're not allowed. If you do it, you will destroy yourselves again down the road, because those experiments will be stolen from and the people will open it up. And then for sure it'll be paradoxical. Paradoxical. You can't flood them out. You can't just kill them. You have to remove them from the ground. The more you go at them from the top, the more they'll cause and incite riots. They'll start paying people in the cities. They'll make things blow up. They'll move their nukes around. They'll make things look bad. They'll make it look like Kim Jong-un set off a nuclear warhead from space when you can't even prove it. But before you know it, you're flat, right? And the whole goal of the GNO is to re-flatten us in order to have them come out of the ground, because they cannot face God. They are too ashamed. And they shouldn't be ashamed, because they are the firstborn, and they should come forward and give us their names. No matter how rough they speak, no matter how ugly they are, we should accept them if they come into the light of the day and the sunlight does not destroy their form. Open the earth. Now that we've crossed it, all the books say, when we come together as one people again, I'm with you, I'm one people. Get it? Phone. One people. Very scary. Babylon. Not using it to destroy people. Why? Used it before. What happened? Death. Okay, this is not a tower to talk to God. This is a tower to talk to the people. Okay? Einstein's theory. Back to that. Time, space, theory. Time doesn't exist. Never did. None of you have to get old. They controlled time by weaving time through the planet. It was a good thing, too, because it maintained a rotation. There's a lot of things that happened a long time ago, people. We used to be a bigger planet. Truly. Matter doesn't cease to exist just because we make it thought away. Every creation of God still exists. Every single thing you believe in is real. Every single part of you, every single part of everything is God. So if you don't believe in it, it can't exist. So if you don't open yourself up to the fourth dimension, to the ability to create within your own mind without having to dedicate yourself to paper and numbers and feel the basic and the harmonics of it, it's something that will be difficult for you to get through. But to evolve, we have to start learning to trust inside of our consciousness. We have to go from a social theory to a hive theory. And that will be our next evolution. If we make it through this, of course. God bless everyone. God bless everyone. God bless everyone.